Hello from the Valley of Fire, Nevada's oldest and largest state park. Yes, it's a state park, not a national park, but it is definitely on par with many other national parks, so don't let the state park designation fool you. This is only about an hour by car from Las Vegas, but worlds away. The rocks are incredible. There are 3,000-year-old petroglyphs and lots of hiking trails. A definite must-do if you're in Las Vegas and need an escape. So if you're in Las Vegas and want to escape to nature, it's an easy drive if you have a car. Just head over to I-15 and drive north for around 33 miles. Then take exit 75. Just before the exit, there will be a sign that says Valley of Fire, Lake Mead, and then another sign for exit 75. Merge right onto the Valley of Fire highway and continue on for 18 miles. The road is flat, desert-like, which makes sense since we are in the Mojave Desert. Along the way there are signs that tell you how much further. This says 11 miles to go. And now you can see the terrain is getting rockier and the hills are starting to turn into mountains. And finally we come to a sign for Valley of Fire State Park. We drove a bit more. Nice to know the heat danger is low today. It is the middle of January when we're taking this trip. The best time to visit the Valley of Fire is November through April when the temperatures are moderate in the 60s or 70s. Summer is very hot here. The average temperature in June, July, and August is around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot. Okay, now we are coming up to the entrance where we paid a $10 fee to get into the park and also received a map. We continued on thinking we were going to the visitor center, and then on our right was a sign saying beehives, so we turned off the main road to have a look. As I looked around the area called beehives, I can't help but feel like I'm on a different planet. The color of the rocks is incredible, and the rock formations are otherworldly. You can touch and climb, it seems, wherever you want. As I pan around with the video camera, you can see how awesome this place is, and standing here, it just takes your breath away. And though it was tempting to go hiking right here and now, we wanted to see what else there was to see. This is just the beginning of the park. So we hopped back in the park and drove. There are signs all over pointing you to the right direction. This sign points the way to Arch Rock. We are now driving on Scenic Loop Road. We pulled over to have a look at Arch Rock. The colors are awesome, just incredible to look at. And again, we understand why this park is called the Valley of Fire. Then we got back in the car and drove to Atlatl Rock. There's some tables on the side here for a picnic, and we did bring our own food, but we weren't quite ready to eat yet. This rock has a staircase to take you up higher into the rock. It looked pretty steep, and at first I didn't think I wanted to go up there, but I'm glad I did. If you climb up the staircase, you're in for a real treat. Up on the rocks are 3,000-year-old petroglyphs, just amazing to look at. It's a lot of steps to get up here, but worth it. Not just for the petroglyphs, but also for the view. And then back in the car, this is the Scenic Loop Road again, and scenic it is. Now we are heading over to the visitor center, and inside the visitor center was plenty of educational material about history, archaeology, petroglyphs, rock formations, really lots of information to look at, and also restrooms and a drinking water filling station. Back in the car, we passed the Seven Sisters. Next stop, Elephant Rock. At the end of the road, just before turning into Elephant Rock, you can see an empty checkpoint. So you can get into the park from this end as well. What about paying? No worries, there's a self-pay station here. The honor system is well and alive here. Nice to see that. There are two trails here, the Elephant Rock Loop, which is 1.2 miles, and the old Arrowhead Road Trail, which is 6.8 miles. Which trail do you think we did? Some of the climbing got a little difficult, but another hiker encouraged us to keep going by showing us pictures of what we would see on the other side.
There's that one. And then this one.
This is one way to view it. All right.
But yeah, y'all are sitting on this like this back hole right here. That's where we are.
Thank you.
And so we made it to the other side, and we were rewarded with an incredible view. Back in the car, now we could view Elephant Rock from a different angle, and on to our next stop, Mouse's Tank. Mouse's Tank is named for an outlaw who hid out here in the 1890s. The trail is about 3/4 of a mile round trip and ends at a natural basin in the rocks that contains rainwater. This is the trail map, and off we went on the Mouse's Tank Trail. It's a sandy trail, but otherwise a very easy walk. Along the way we did find the Petroglyphs. They're not marked with any signs, you just have to look for them yourself. And they are all over the place. We continued on the trail and the path narrowed, and then around the bend, and continued on, and then finally got to the Mouse's Tank, the Basin of Water. You can definitely spend a couple of days here, but we were here just for a few hours. It was cool, but the air was dry, so make sure to bring water, especially if you're hiking. This park is huge, about 40,000 acres huge, and the rock formations are just beautiful to look at, and each one has a different and unique shape. Even the vegetation is interesting. Along the trail we saw some greenery. Probably in the hot summer months there is none, but during the winter months there are some rains that help feed the greenery and of course collect in the Mouse's Tank. It was starting to get late, but we wanted to make one more stop at the White Domes Loop. From Mouse's Tank you turn right onto White Domes Road until you come to the White Domes Loop. As we were driving, it's interesting to note the color of the rocks has changed. They appear more white in color. Maybe that's why it's called White Domes Road? Alright, here we are at the White Domes Loop. This hike is a 1 mile round trip. It's getting late in the day and we're tired at this point, so this is where our day at Valley of Fire will end. But there's still so much to see here, so make sure when you're in Las Vegas to drive the hour up to this island of rocks in the desert. It took us an hour to get back to Las Vegas, and the contrast of the lights shimmering above Vegas is a stark contrast to the shimmering light in the Valley of Fire. A must-do when you visit Las Vegas. I hope you enjoyed this adventure to the Valley of Fire. If you did, please subscribe. I really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Bye!